Hi everyone, TardisGuy123 here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Doctor Who The Dæmons. That is a third Doctor story, obviously starting Jon Pertwee there, Roger Delgado, and that's Zal. Stephen Thorne, I think, actually is the actor who plays him. He also plays Omega. I believe that's correct. I know he definitely plays Omega. I'm not sure if he plays Zal in this though. But anyway, obviously you've got Dæmons there, or the Demons, whichever one you like to call it. And you've got that nice little archaic A&D there. 2-disc set, of course. There is actually an alternative cover, I think, which was only available at a convention or something. But look up pictures of it, it's quite a nice cover. But anyway, this cover, for what it is very good also. Here you have your spine, so you've got the Doctor Head, the Dæmons, and BBC to Entertain logo down there. Then on the back, we have, starring Jon Pertwee, we've got a nice image of the Master there, Bok, the third Doctor again being attacked by the Morris dancers, and that character whose name I can't remember, one of the villagers. There you have By Guy Leopold, which is a pseudonym for Barry Letts and Robert Sloman. There you got, and then you've got special features such as commentary and making of and whatnot, and also remembering Barry Letts, which is quite a nice one. So opening this up, you have the inside. Oh, that's just yeah. There you got disc 1 and disc 2. So disc 2 is all the special features on it and whatnot, and also has a Zal there. Then you have the disc 1 there. Got your leaflet there, so let's take a better look at that quickly. Here is the front of that. Here is the back with the chapter points, and then the middle with all this fun stuff about the commentary and special features. So that's all well and good, it's very nice. But what about the story itself? Now, if you ask a lot of people, they will say it is an absolute classic. And, you know, I kind of don't agree with that. I think it's a good story, definitely a strong story, but an absolute classic, I don't know, I wouldn't rank it that highly. You know, there are a lot better stories which also rank as classics. But, you know, anyway, I can kind of see why, because it's got that very kind of like villagey, quintessential English village feel going on, and that's very nice in it. Borrows a lot of elements from Quatermass and the Pit, with the whole idea of kind of like an alien influencing mankind's history and whatnot, and also resembling the devil. So that's right interesting, but you know, thankfully, the Master is also thrown into this one, so it's got a little bit of differentiation there. And the Master very much stirs things up and is after the power of Zal. So that's all well and good, I think. Jon Pertwee, of course, does a wonderful part in this. It's kind of like got the whole thing that magic doesn't exist and whatnot. And you know, maybe that was pushed a bit too much in this story, I'm not sure. But nevertheless, you know, it kind of like fits his Doctor that he's very much stanced that science is the only reality and whatnot. That's all very interesting stuff, but goes on for a bit too much. Anyway, the whole idea of the village being cut off from reality, that's very nice. However, I don't think it's really shown in the villagers. You know, the villagers don't really react to it. They're not really sure how much of the Master's influence they're under. But nevertheless, it does feel a bit odd that they don't really seem to realise that they're cut off from the rest of the world. However, episode 1 is a very strong start to this, with the whole stuff at Devil's End and whatnot, with Professor Horner, and what will be inside the Devil's Hump and whatnot. That's all very interesting stuff. That's a nice build-up, and of course you know the Master's involved somehow. You just don't know how or what he's after at that stage, and if he's truly behind it, and how much of it he's behind. And, you know, it shows how much of a good villain the Master has become in this, because one of the cliffhangers involves him being kind of like threatened by him. That is one of the cliffhangers, you know, the Master being in danger, and that shows how much of an influence, not much of an influence, but how loved Roger Delgado was as the Master at the time and whatnot, and he's still very loved. It shows how much they thought, you know, he's such a good character that people will actually find it a good cliffhanger for him to be in danger. And obviously there's a little bit more going into the cliffhanger than that, but nevertheless, you know, it still has a cliffhanger of him being in mortal danger. So that's very good stuff, very interesting stuff. However, I do feel that the ending to the story, the conclusion, and, you know, a lot of people have this gripe about it, you know, it just doesn't work for me, unfortunately, and, you know, some people can pass it off. I personally can't pass it off as easily. Probably, you know, I can get over it, it doesn't ruin the entire story for me at all, but nevertheless, it just doesn't work for me, that ending. The stuff with Bessie after that, with the Master and whatnot, was nice, however. And, you know, Benton and Yates get their chance to shine in this very much, because the Brigadier is much left out of this, being outside the barrier for the majority of the story. However, also Jo, she's fine for the majority of the story. She does sit a little bit out in episodes 3 and 4, and, you know, during that time, she's quite hysterical, and I'm not sure, like, I thought it might be under the Master's influence or something, or something to do with that. But, you know, there's never really any proper explanation given to it, and she's just a bit hysterical, and needing to get into the cavern and whatnot, and saying it's a trick, a horrible conjuring trick to Mike about that. You know, I don't really know what was the point in that, and what was going on there. You know, Katie Manning does a good job acting it, but it's just, what is the purpose of it beyond that? Maybe it was just to get Jo out the story, I don't know. I just feel that could have been done a little bit better. And of course you have the wonderful Miss Hawthorne in there as well, who has an interesting stuff going on with Benton and whatnot. That's all very good. But, you know, overall, story gets an 8 out of 10 from me. I still like it. I still can find quite enjoyment out of it. The pacing's good. At 5 parts, you know, that's good. 4 parts, it would have gone too quick. 6 parts, it would have gone too slow, I think. So 5 parts is exactly right for this. It's odd because there are only 2 Ollers, and they're both, what's it called? They're both Patrick Troughton stories. One of them, The Dominators, was originally going to be 6 parts, but then got cut down to 5. And the other one, The Mind Robber, was originally going to be 4 parts, but because The Dominators was cut down to 5, they needed to throw an extra episode in somehow. So they very much feel like they were either a 5-parter that should have been a 6-parter, or a 5-parter that should have been a 4-parter. This is the only one that feels like it's truly a 5-parter. It started off as a 5-parter and ended as a 5-parter. So start to finish, that is probably why the pacing feels so good on this one. So, as I said before, 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all next time with the review of Mistfall. Bye, everyone.